In the last project, when we ran the application, we saw that the interface was black, and that was because we did not have a main storyboard to put any of our user interface elements on. So let's go ahead and add a main storyboard. I'm going to go ahead and hit Command N for new file. And normally we're under source. We choose either the Cocoa Touch class or a Swift file. But this time I'm going to click on user interface and choose storyboard and click next. I'm going to call this main.storyboard. And I want to make sure that my file ends up in the base.lproj folder. I want to make sure the group is journal, the journal project. And I'm going to make sure that it's in the target journal. Actually, I'm going to make it in the journal group. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and create that file. So now I have a main storyboard, and one thing I need to do before I can start adding elements to it is I'm going to click on my journal project, and I need to tell the app what the main interface is. So I'm going to go ahead and click the down arrow and choose main.storyboard, and notice how it changes it to just the word main. And that tells the app to use that main storyboard as the main interface. So let's go ahead and go back to the storyboard and run this. And it runs correctly, but it says failed to instantiate the default view controller. Perhaps the designated entry point is not set. Well, all that really means is I don't have anything to display. You need some place to start. You need a designated entry point. So let's go ahead and add that, and we're going to use what's called a table view controller. So in your object library, make sure that you can see table view controller. If you have to, select and type table. And I'm going to drag a table view controller onto my main storyboard. Close this for a second. And you can see that when I drag a table view controller, I get what's called a prototype cell. And the cell is this prototype cell is where you would format what you want each row of your table to look like. If I ran this now, again, I would get an error because I still haven't designated an entry point. So I'm going to let this view controller be the entry point. So I'm going to click on it to make sure it's highlighted. I'm going to go to my attributes inspector and choose is initial view controller. And you can see that when I click that, this arrow appears showing that this would be the first scene that's shown when I run the app. If I had multiple views, you can set which one you want to show first. Again, this is the initial view controller. So now let's go ahead and run this. And you can see I have a blank screen. Let me go ahead and once again increase the resolution a bit. And you can see that each one of these is just a blank row. And I can click on it and nothing really happens. But I have a whole lot of rows in my table. So while I have a table view here, I haven't written any code for a table view controller class, which we're going to start adding to in the next lesson.